Hello, good morning, friends. Today we are going to start our next chapter, that is of letters of inquiry and their replies. You might question that why chapter 5 is directly started. But as far as your standard 12th is concerned, these chapters, that means some chapters which are from chapter number 5, 6, 7, 8, that are of totally uh, of later chapters, and in standard 12 there is so many chapters that are based on the letters that you have to learn very carefully. That's why if you are not unable to learn properly these letters, at that time you will not able to learn standard 12th letter as far as your important chapter is concerned. So now it is a very basic chapter for your standard 12th is concerned, and now we are going to directly start chapter number 5 because it's an important chapter, and as you learn it very carefully then you have a sufficient time for the revision. That's why we are going to start chapter number 5 instead of chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? So I hope you will understand the nowadays situation as far as the reports of COVID-19 is concerned. So many cases are rises there. So we are totally unaware about the present situation as well as the situation when and where we can start the physical studies. So it is a very critical situation for us. So we will learn through the online medium as well as some important topics as far as your standard 12th is concerned. So I hope and I request you all to learn these chapters very carefully. Letters of inquiry and their replies. Why these are happen? When you have to write an inquiry letter and when you will able to get the reply for the same. So now we are going to start some introduction. Business letters are important tool for the development of the publicity of business. See, business letter means the letters which are carried to the business activity, or you can say which are carried for the business activity, are known as the business letters. And why they are important? Because it's an important tool. It's considered as an important tool because of so many works of the business related decision as well as some business related work are doing based on these letters. So for the development as well as the publicity of business letters are very important tool. That's why it's considered as a important tool according to the requirement in business. See, according to the requirement of business, that means what type of activity, how much portion, how much business, how much selling, how much production, these all are matters are considered. Different types of business letters are used for this type of inquiries. So many letters, so many different letters are consideredly used as per their requirement. In this chapter, we shall discuss the inquiry letters and reply to inquiry letters with the help of some sample letters. See, we will discuss about some inquiry letter as well as some reply to the inquiry letter with the help of some sample letter. With some sample letters means you have to learn about some samples which are very important for the business purpose. So we are going to start some business activity and business letters, how it can be written and how it can be replied. It is very much necessary for a modern businessman to obtain the latest information through the inquiry in order to develop his business and to maintain his place in the world of commerce. See, it's very much necessary, it's most important part that modern businessman, see, at present the modern era is going on. At that time the modern businessmen have to get the information, or you can say have to update it with themselves with the latest information, because without latest information you are not able to run your business very smoothly. And if you want to maintain your prestige in a market as good business firm, so for getting this type of facilities as well as some getting this type of position, at that time you have to maintain some uh, place, and at that time you have to compulsorily keep yourself with the updated information. That's why you will able to maintain your position in the business world. Inquiry can be made to know the formal and informal details, the financial position, and the other matters and opinion regarding his business. See, while considering this type of information, what type of information should be uh, important as far as your inquiry is concerned? At that time, which information? See, formal information as well as informal information. Formal information means the information regarding to the business activity, that the person or the business firm are going well, their business very well or not, and they are doing business in credit or cash, whatever information which are related for the business purpose, that are the formal. And informal letters means the how, what is the nature of that particular businessman, what is his ambitious nature, as well as what is their requirement, how he deal with the customers, and as well as how he or she deal with the other business firms. This type of information can be called informal details. So while doing the business, or while doing business at that time, if you want to get some inquiry at that time, this type of information as well as formal as well as informal informations are very necessary. Next is the, as a customer, before we buy anything from market, we would like to know about its price, weight, quality, packing, maximum discount, etc. See friends, while you are going to purchase so many products, as well as if you want to buy a single chocolate, at that time you will compare so many items, that is of the what is the price, what is the quantity, what is the quality, what is the weight, what is the packing, how much discount you will get, so many information you will get. And then after you will decide that where, from where to purchase, how to purchase, which product should be purchased. So while you are purchasing a little thing, at that time you will make so many inquiries. So as far as the business is concerned, while if you have want to make a business very carefully, at that time we have to get so many informations for your development. Moreover, we would also like to know about the product's guarantee and warranty, facility of the installment, etc. before taking a decision. See, these are the basic information that you will get information about the price, weight, quality, packing, maximum discount. But then after you will get the some another information, that are the product's guarantee, what is the product guarantee, what is the warranty, if facility of the installment are available or not. This type of information is very important for taking a decision. If a customer is so cautious about his limited purchase, the trader will certainly be absolutely careful, because he purchases a large number of goods of the different varieties on large scale. See, you are purchasing so many limited products, and then after you will make so much inquiries, you are very much cautious about the product, as well as so think that how and where and how much inquiry should be made by the businessman, because businessman has to purchase so many products, as well as he has to purchase large number of goods, large number of variety, so it is but obvious that he will make inquiry about the so many products, and then he will be able to get a order at a particular place. Thus, the prospective customer writes inquiry letter to get information from seller about the goods he desired to purchase. See, if prospective customers, it means the customer which will become a permanent customer, that is known as the prospective customer. I repeat, whenever any customer will purchase or will become our permanent customer, at that time it will considered as the prospective customer. See, prospective customer writes a letter to the so many sellers and uh, goods, so many goods, about so many goods to the so many sellers. That's why he will be able to, you can say, comparison. He or she will able to comparison of the products as well as the sellers. Now we shall study about such inquiry letters in detail. We are going to start these letters to understand these letters in detail. Next one is the explanation of inquiry letter. What is inquiry letter? Now we will learn about this thing. When a customer of a businessman writes a letter to a seller requesting him to give the required information for purchase of goods, generally in bulk, such letters are known as the inquiry letter. So friends, you have to make underline in this because it is important line and it can be asked in a 1 mark question, that when a customer or a businessman writes a letter to so many sellers requesting about the inquiries of the product, like what is the price, what is the weight, what is the quality, what is the expiry date, so these are information will be able to get a proper decision. At that time the purchase of goods generally in a bulk. See, if we have learned that businessman wants to do business, at that time he or she will make so many inquiries for so many products as well as your business is concerned. At that time this inquiry or this type of information is very important, and whatever letter you write for getting this type of information is known as the inquiry letters. Generally these type of letters are written by a customer or a businessman. Also you have to make underline to this line because it is important and it can be asked in a 1 mark question, that while writing this type of letters is written by customer to businessman, always customer will write this letter to the businessman about their productivity as well as for their inquiry. Inquiry letters are frequently written by a customer or buyer in the world of commerce. See, inquiry letters are frequently written. Frequently written means whenever, say, as far as myself is considered as a one businessman and you are a second businessman. For you, while I am making inquiry, I am your customer. Now I will write some inquiry letter to you as far as you are a very good businessman in this example. So first I will write letter to you, then after you will reply me, then after I will write you, then after you will write me. So this scenario is going on. So frequently letters should be written. A customer of the goods will write such letters to several sellers and analyze the information before he places an order. See, customer, or you can say some inquirer, writes so many letters to so many businessmen for the same product, same thing is written, and after getting the proper reply, he or she will analyze that how and where to give an order for the business. Now, important points to be considered for writing an inquiry letter. What type of points should be keep in mind while writing this type of inquiry letters? First is in the beginning of the inquiry letter writer gives an introduction of his firm or organization. See, this is the first point that you have to keep in mind while writing this type of information, that while you are writing this type of letters at that time, first of all you have to make yourself, and you have to give introduction about yourself in the first para of the letter. Second one, it should be mentioned whether the inquiry is in reference to an advertisement by the seller, in reference to the details of business directory, or through the recommendation of someone. See, second point which you have to mention in your inquiry letter, that is of from where you will able to get the information about our business and why you have written us. It means if you get information from someone who have suggested you to purchase so many things from us, so that point. Next one is the in reference of the business directory, as well as the reference, as well as the advertisement in a newspaper. So how you will able to get details about us, and about from what type of reference you are ambitious to write this type of letters. Next one is the purpose of the inquiry must be mentioned at the beginning of the letter. See, while writing this type of inquiry letter, you have to mention your goal, what is your motto to write this type of letters. You have to mention it very clearly. It must information whether the inquiry is for the purchase of goods, or to avail the services, or to obtain general information. You have to make clear that if you want to buy the products from that particular business firm, or you write this letter only for the inquiry, or you write this type of information get the only information about the business firm. You have to make clear very carefully. Request for catalog, price list, quotation, sample and demonstration of the goods should be made. See, while if you needed, at that time you have to make a request for catalog. Catalog means the card or the information from the seller, and he will make a list of product with the pictures, with the features, as well as so many items. That is known as the catalog. Next one is the price list. Whenever the seller prepares a list of the so many products and its prices, that is known as the price list. Next one is the quotation. You are much aware about this word. Quotation means the prospective price of a particular product, that is known as the quotation. Next one is the sample as well as the demonstration of the product, that how much the product is generated or how the product is produced, and as well as the what is the procedure for the producing that particular goods should be made in the inquiry letters. The inquiry should be clear and specific about the goods to be purchased. You have to make clear about the information that what type of goods you will be want to purchase, and this is very much important part. Inquiry about the available variety of the specific goods can be also be made. If you want to purchase so many products from the seller, at that time you have to make clear about the list of product that you want to purchase. Next one is the inquire about the price of the goods and other expenses. While you are writing inquiry letter, at that time you have to make clear about the products, goods, as well as so many expenses which are laid on of the products price should be made clear very clearly. Other expenses means transportation charge of the unloading of the goods, packaging charge, etc. While you are writing some other expenses, at that time you have to make clear about that what type of other expenses you want to know, that is of the transportation expenses, transportation charges, who will bear it, then charges for the unloading of the goods. While goods reach on a particular address, at that time who will bear the expense of the unloading of the goods. Next one is the packaging charges. If you want to purchase a good uh, with some sample as well as some special packaging, at that time you have to make clear about the charges of the product, that what type of packaging charges should be applied. It should be also clearly mentioned that who will bear the sales tax as well as VAT, etc. But instead of sales tax as well as the VAT tax, at this time in modern era GST is applicable, and that are you know very well. So you have to also make clear about the who will bear this type of expenses and how much it will be laid down. Next one is the mention the expected size of the orders so that the minimum price and the maximum discount can be obtained. You have to give a specific number of goods and in a specific portion, that how much you want to purchase from a businessman, that you have to give a clear expected size of the order, that you wants to purchase this much amount of the product from you. So it can be able, so it is very useful for the businessman that how much discount should be given to us. Inquire about the mode of the payment. See, you have to make clear, and it is very most important part of your inquiry letter, that is of how much payment as well as the what is the mode of the payment through which you have to make a payment for that particular purchase. That is, a payment should be made in a cash, by check, draft, or online payment. You have to make clear about that how you will pay the amount, how the businessman accept the payment, in cash or by check or through online payment, net banking, how the businessman is able to get the payment. Obtain the goods at the right time is very important in a business. See, for every business, goods which you have ordered is received on time. It is very important part for the business. Hence, it is necessary to inform the seller about when the goods are needed and inquire whether the seller can deliver within that time period. If you want to inquire at that time, you have to make clear from the businessman that he or she will able to deliver the goods on time or not. It is most important part. If you not inquired about this and the businessman or seller is not delivering the goods on time, at that time your prestige might be harmed. So this is very most important part while you are writing this type of inquiry letters, and you have to make clear about that the businessman or seller is able to deliver the goods on time or not. Inquire if the seller can provide the specific types of good in a specific packing according to your requirement. This is also you have to inquire that you are able to give a product with a specific packaging or not. If you are not able to make a packaging for that particular goods, at that time this is not a very good sign for a businessman. So you have to make clear about that he or she will able to make a good with a good packaging or not as per your requirement. At the end of the letter, give an assurance to a seller for a large order in future. While writing at this type of inquiry letter, at the end of this type of letter, you have to give an assurance that you will totally give the order, or you will give a large number of order in future. If and only if the products as well as the terms and condition and as well as the whole situation is are in a good condition or in a good favorable condition, at that time you will give a large number of order in future. So you have to give an assurance for the same. The letter of inquiry should be short but precise and to the point. See, letter of inquiry should be short. You have to write a very short letter for the business purpose or inquiry purpose. While you are receiving this type of letter, you have to also make sure the letter should be with the to the point, without any so many matters, and whatever you want to write is not very good. You have to write only to the point. That we first see, while writing this type of letters, at that time you have to keep in mind that you have to write only 3 paragraphs, and that are very important. In first paragraph you have to make your introduction. Next is the what is your expectation from the business, as well as in this chapter you will have to write in a second paragraph about the inquiry of the particular product is mentioned in a second paragraph. And next and last one is your assurance to the business purpose, that how and what type of assurance you will provide to a businessman. So these 3 paragraphs are very important, and these 3 paragraphs are with the to the point, without any ambiguity or without any so many information that are not useful for the business firm. You have to write only to the points matter and whatever you want to know. That's it. There should be no confusion or misunderstanding about the type of quality of the goods due to complex language. See, while writing this type of inquiry letter, make sure you have to write in a very precise and polite language. Without making any kind of confusion or misunderstanding, you have to write in a very simple language instead of using the complex language. Complex language might be create and confusion in the mind of the seller. So it is not a good sign for the business relationship. So while writing this type of inquiry letters, that you have to keep in mind that you have to write a letter short and sweet, to the point, as well as in a simple language instead of using complex language. So this point should be considered while writing this type of letters. Now I wish you have to revise all these points for the betterment of your learning in this chapter. If you are able to understand this type of information, at that time you will get your letters explanation very easily. But if you are totally unaware, or you can say you have not understand these things very carefully, at that time you will not able to understand the letters in a proper manner, because these are the base for the letters, and it is very important as far as your standard 12th is concerned. So we are going to start this chapter instead of sequence, because you needed so many references as well as so many revision in this chapter. So because without any kind of revision you will not able to learn very carefully. So I have started this chapter instead of sequence. So make sure, and I assure that if you are in presence in a physical classroom, at that time the total situation will differ. But at present we are unable, we are helpless in this critical situation. So I request you all to learn very carefully about this information before starting the letters, so you will be able to understand very easily. And if you are not able to learn these things very carefully, at that time make sure, I guarantee that you will not able to understand the letters in a proper format. So I request you all, if you have any doubt you can ask me, but you have to go through this video very importantly. So thank you so much.